Unit 6 terms to know. Induction. Analogy. The act of comparing one concept with another concept to highlight the similarity in their meanings. This often highlights a deep similarity between the concepts, even though they are not related on the surface. Analogies are often used for explaining things because the speaker and listener are assumed to know more about one concept than the other. Argument. In the study of inductive reasoning, an argument is a series of statements in which some facts are presented as premises that support a conclusion. The strength of that conclusion is dependent on its relationship to the premises and the relationship of the premises to each other. Blank predicate. In the study of categorical induction, a blank predicate is some property that we wish to infer about an object. It is blank because it is plausible but not directly known by the respondent, and so the answer can only be inferenced by inductive reasoning. Categorical induction. The process of inferring or inducing features and properties of things based on their category membership. Conclusion. In an inductive inference, the conclusion is the actual inference, and it usually concerns possible projection of a predicate to some conclusion object or category. Conjunction fallacy. The conjunction fallacy is a common cognitive bias in which people incorrectly assume that an object is more likely to be a member of two categories, the conjunction, than to be in either one of the categories alone. People make this mistake because they use their familiarity with one of the concepts to override a judgment based on probability. Entitativity, a measure of categorical coherence that takes into account how similar category members are, how informative it is to know something's membership in that category, and whether or not members of a category possess an inherent essence. Entrenchment, a term or a property that has a usage within a culture or language. Feature coverage, a theory of categorical induction that emphasizes features rather than category membership. If a premise and a conclusion are similar to each other, they share many features, and thus there is a high degree of feature coverage. Generalization, an inductive conclusion that is a broad conclusion about a whole class or group of things assumed to share properties. Inclusion fallacy, a common inductive error in which people assume that an argument about a subset of category members is less believable than an argument about the whole category that includes the subset. Inferences, conclusions based on the available or observable evidence or from evidence previously observed. Natural kinds, natural groupings or categories of things that possess similar properties. Problem of induction, the name given to the problem of whether or not induction can be studied formally or philosophically. Premise, a statement of fact about something, someone, or a whole class. Premise-conclusion similarity, the idea that inductive arguments are strong to the extent that the categories in the premises are similar to the categories in the conclusion. Premise diversity, an effect in induction in which an argument is strong when several premises are dissimilar to each other. The premise diversity increases the coverage, and as a result, it strengthens the argument. Premise typicality, an effect in induction in which an argument is strong when one or more highly typical premises are used to draw conclusions from. Predicates, these can be things, properties, or features of category members and are the basic facts that are used to generate inductive inferences. Representativeness heuristic, a common cognitive heuristic in which people base their predictions about things on the prototype of the category for which that thing is a member. This can lead to a bias because the conclusion entity may not have all of the features typical of the category. Similarity coverage, a theory of induction that assumes that inductive inferences are made on the basis of similarity between premise and conclusion, along with the degree of coverage that premises have over the lowest level category that includes all of the premises and the conclusion. Stimulus generalization, the natural tendency that nearly all organisms have to generalize their existing experience to new stimuli as a function of the similarity between the two. So if similarity goes up, you generalize more strongly, and if similarity decreases, you generalize less strongly.